Hey everyone, welcome to Tales of Eldura. We are doing a special birthday one-on-one session tonight, so we're so excited that you guys can join us. So instead of me DMing our session, Jonathan is going to DM for me. And briefly, in case you don't know, I'm Beth Ball. This is Jonathan Ball, and we're the two writers behind D&D Duet. Tales of Eldura is a one-on-one duet game set in our homebrew world of Eldura. But this game tonight takes place in a... we will talk about that soon.
Oh, no.
Feeling that to me?
No, I'm doing hand signals for your explanation. Okay. I'm over
our
excited.
Game tonight.
I have a new light, so...
Our game tonight takes place in Waterdeep on the Sword Coast. So that'll be super exciting. But yeah, new light. You look so good, super bright. I can see you really well.
Our stream, as ever tonight, is brought to everybody from our wonderful sponsor, one of Beth's books. That's how you use words. Let's see. I've got one right here. Ooh, look at those spicy books. Song of Parting looks so pretty. And then Hadvarian Heist tells the story of a world of high fantasy, magic, and nature that teeters on the brink between light and darkness. Ancient forces awaken and new heroes rise to the occasion, but this time, can they prevail? Find out in this exciting second-in-series novel packed with druids, pirates, werewolves, and more. And I just think they're so pretty.
Thanks, honey.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, if you enjoy high fantasy, if you're looking for a world to escape to, the Age of Azuria series is for you. You can find out more about it at bethballbooks.com. And we'll have links in the show notes below.
Absolutely. Also, we have to extend a shout out to our wonderful, lovely patrons who make all of our video multimedia content possible. So thank you so much to our wonderful patrons. If you want to check out our Patreon, then you can join them over at patreon.com/Grove Guardian Press.
Patrons, we appreciate you all so much. And I don't know. Without you all, I don't think there's any way we would be doing streams. But I am having so much fun with them.
Yeah. I'm actually really excited today because this is going to be a never before seen glimpse at like our weekend game. You know, this is not something that we've ever brought out into the world before, so it's kind of exciting. I've never DM'd on a stream before, so I'll do my best.
Caroline firsts.
Caroline is going to help me. So
holding the fort down.
Absolutely, holding something down. So, Birthday Honey, do you want to bring us in and tell everybody where did we leave off when last we played?
I would love to. Okay, ready? So my name is Persephone Yarel, and well, I'm in Waterdeep right now. I just came back from Neverwinter, and we traveled south, and so we ran into this strange, sad young man on the way south from Neverwinter. His name is Xavier, and his his fiance Fidelia has left him for his brother, and he got basically kicked out of his family, lost the business, all these sad things. It was like a lots of bad lucks in a row. So we tell him we'll help him, and he decides not to jump off of the cliff into the sea. So then we keep traveling south, and we make it to Waterdeep, which is where I spent some time before to help my mom. And so as we go through Waterdeep, we stop at Lif's Haunt, which is the inn that I help run, although I'm not there super often anymore. Anyway, once we're in Waterdeep, it becomes pretty clear that things are not exactly as they should be. Some things seem kind of weird. So let me look at my notes and tell you what's going on. Oh, Lady Cedra Eltorchul, who has an impossible to say last name, has been found. We learned the day we got back. She had disappeared apparently, and then she was found in the dock ward. And being nosy and helpful, like most adventurers are, I went to her house and was able to kind of revive her. So now she's doing much better, but she doesn't really remember what she was doing before. And then Algie, my Fey Pug Druid mentor, told me that Lady Cedra had been at the foot of Mount Waterdeep. No, Lady Cedra said that, but Algie said that she had been looking for dangerous plants and reagents for transmutation spells. And so then what we learned after that, when we went to investigate the Happy Family Passenger Shipping Company, which has too long of a name.
And that's the shipping company that Xavier had taken from him.
We learned that Xavier's brother, Xavier, had made a deal with the Hidden Hand, whatever that is. Then that's kind of what we think is behind all the weird things happening. So people in Waterdeep have been disappearing. They've been acting out of character and later reappearing. Or repenting, sorry. Some of the people who've disappeared reappeared later. So, for example, Fidelia saw Xavier cheating on her. So that was pretty upsetting. Even though he said it didn't happen. And then what we learned, too, was that Lady Cedra was trying to make transmutations permanent. And the Hidden Hand seems to be kind of working their way up. And today, Jack and I are going to be pursuing a new lead, which is Bonnie at the Yawning Portal, who is has a thing with Three Strings the Bard, or that he likes her or something. Anyway, we're going to the Yawning Portal, and we're going to talk to Bonnie, and that's mine and Jack's plan.
Such a good plan. So, as we open today, it's a brand new day in Waterdeep. You hear the kind of regular sounds of the of Queen Mabs kind of starting to come to life, and patrons coming and going, drinking their morning coffee, having croissant, and all that good stuff. And you and Jack have had some breakfast, refreshed yourselves for the day. I hope you took a long rest, and you're ready to set out on the day. As you kind of gather and begin to head out, you see Esmeralda, your sweet mother, who does tarot readings at Queen Mabs and entertains people, kind of stops you and says, "Oh, Persephone, I do hope that you will make sure to be around tomorrow night, because, it's would be a very good idea for you to be there, to be here, actually, tomorrow night."
Tomorrow night I should be here at Queen Mabs?
Tomorrow night, it's just a thought that I had, that you should probably be here tomorrow night. I think that probably we need your help with, she kind of looks around to find, I think some of the carpentry has fallen apart since you've been gone, so tomorrow night we should take care of it.
Good. Should I be somewhere else, say tomorrow afternoon?
Tomorrow afternoon, that would, maybe you should go shopping for carpentry stuff.
It makes sense. Right. I'll be sure to do just that.
Okay, happy almost birthday. It's not related, but...
Oh, good. Well, thank you. Thank you, Mama. I'd really appreciate it.
She kind of gives you a smile and gives Jack kind of a significant look. And you swear you see kind of a secret kind of... Actually, you don't swear. You blatantly see kind of a secret head nod, not a hand nod. A head nod pass between the two of them as if they're in cahoots. Okay. As you head out the door into the bustling city streets of Waterdeep.
Is there a surprise party for me tomorrow?
I don't. Why would you think that?
I saw a weird nod between you and my mom.
That's just something that we do that's not related to anything of any kind of secretive nature.
Are you sure?
He's kind of beginning to turn a little red and perspiring a little bit. Yep.
All right. Are you ready to go to the Yawning Portal?
Let's go to the Yawning Portal.
Do you know that I lived there for a little bit? When I was, like, medium-sized.
I think that you'd mentioned that, but it seems like a strange place to live when you're a child.
Well, it was just for a couple of months when we were kind of between places, but Vernon took us in, and my mom worked for him for a little bit. It was nice.
Well, that is nice. Your mother makes all kinds of friends all over the place.
It is true. She's very friendly. As we walk, can I ask you about something?
You can ask me about anything.
Right. It's not about any surprises.
Okay, that's really good. Because I don't know anything about any surprises.
That's good. Except for the surprise we're about to play on Bonnie. Okay, so what I was wondering was, you know how we ran into Mertz on the way here? Right. And he was talking about how information is power. And before that, Daggold was saying that money is power.
Right. A lot of people have been talking about power lately.
Well, it's pretty topical sometimes. I guess I was just wondering, so growing up at the Saudades, we didn't really talk about it that way. Like, that's not what we would have said is the thing to be aiming for. But I was wondering, coming from Cormier, or just for yourself personally, it doesn't have to be on behalf of Cormier at all. What would you say is, like, you know, what did they say? Like, this thing is power, and then, like, a lot of it is influence. No, that's not right. Influence and then power, influential. I'm not sure.
Well, you know how in Waterdeep we have noble families? And they're kind of important. Mostly it seems because they're rich.
Yes.
So in Cormier, I think they would say that the blood is power. The stratification and concentration of the noble families is that much more intense. And if you can claim an Orbaskier line and validate it with any kind of anything, really, then, well, you have influence and power.
But I thought all the Orbaskiers were dead.
Certainly all the ones that we can definitively, that we know for certain, but families are strange and complex and intermingled, and the Orbaskiers certainly in their time cast a wide net, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Cast a wide net? Something. They had lots of kids.
Right. Like large families.
Indeed.
So do you think that that is true, that blood is power and a lot of it is even more powerful? Concentration of it?
Well, no. I think that's pretty... I don't know, at least in Waterdeep, it seems that you can... I mean, evidently you can go pretty far without being a noble.
I think so.
And Cormier, it's your prospects are rather limited from the get-go. unless you're part of one of the right families. So no, I think it's a terrific waste of potential.
This makes sense. Right. So will you be thinking about something else and let me know what you would pick instead?
I'll think about, so just whatever power might be.
Mm-hmm.
I can do that, sure.
If you had to pick a thing that you were like, this is really the sort of thing one should be accumulating, what would it be?
I'll keep my mind on that. I don't have a good answer right now.
Not too much of it because now we have to go ask Bonnie, but well, then we'll find out. You can tell me after.
Jack throws up his hand, and pretty quickly you all have a cab and begin heading down to kind of the intersection of the Trades Ward and the North Ward of the Castle Ward. You know, like the Yawning Portal is very strategically located in the kind of corner of a bunch of places. But you make it down there, you go to the familiar place of the Yawning Portal. You know that it's not super hopping right now, first thing in the morning, but there is a kind of a regular crowd of people getting their morning, a little bit of hair of the dog, or a little bit of Java fix, some lemon milk. Dernan's ready to start slinging beverage and opening up. You hear the discordant plink plonks of 3 strings beginning to strum a little bit. You know that he gets really good as the day goes on, but he starts off kind of in the morning. But as you approach, throw open the door, Dernan sees, like, kind of blinks a little bit from the light kind of streaming in. There's a couple of people that are like, we haven't seen light in days. But Dernan gives you a hello from behind the bar. All right, is that my Persephone?
Hi, Dernan, it is me. I run over.
And how dare you come in here like that?
What do you mean? Run around the bar and give him a hug.
I'm mad at you.
Why?
Well, you've been gone for a long time. You never wrote.
I sent messages through Queen Mabs, I thought.
Well, not as many as I'd have liked. Okay, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm really sorry. I'm doing all right. I need to ask you for a favor.
Okay. What is it?
Is Bonnie here?
Why, Bonnie's here, but I think she's cleaning up in the back.
I need to ask her a couple questions just in case, but for it to not seem weird at all.
All right, well, if you all want to take a seat, then I'll send her out. I mean, you know Bonnie, right? So I'm sure she'll be pleased to see you.
It is nice. All right, thank you, darling.
Have you been on any interesting
How are you
adventures?
doing?
I'm just tending bar here.
Yes, I went. Well, I accidentally went to the Shadowlands for a little bit, to this place that's not there anymore, called New Horizon. And then I was in the Underlands for a while.
Yeah,
it was an accident. Well, I went on purpose, but everyone else went there as an accident. And then I was in the Underlands, and I made an illithid friend.
Good.
Which was pretty good. And then I was in Neverwinter for a little bit, and I went to the Dwarven city.
Gauntlgrim.
I went to Gauntlgrim.
Gauntlgrim's nice.
And then here I am.
Well, you've been all over the place.
Been pretty busy. Well, I'm sorry. I will be sure to write more in the future.
I just like to,
I didn't mean to hurt your feelings.
My adventuring days might be behind me, but it's nice to live vicariously through the exploits of, well, the new generation.
That is nice. Right. Well, I will write more lordly, exciting letters in the future.
Good. How's your mother?
Send them more often. She's happy. She's good.
Good. Well, I'll discreetly send Bonnie your way if you just want to take the corner booth over there.
Great, that's a good idea. Thank you.
As you kind of come over, you hear Durnan just bellow from the bar, Bonnie, go talk to Persephone! You hear a little bit of a clatter.
Jack, we're supposed to sit in the corner.
Oh, okay, good. Yes, we will. So you all get in a corner booth as like 3 strings is kind of plucking, this little half elf bard doing what he does, and Bonnie comes out. She's a very Bonnie. She's very average looking, a little bit mousy maybe on one end, kind of brown auburn hair in a nice braid, but comes up with kind of suds. As she walks up, I need you to roll an insight check.
Right.
First roll of the night.
26.
Is that all? Okay. Well, looking at Bonnie, you can tell that she is. There's like a little bit of there's a little bit of puffiness around the eyes, and she looks. There's usually her hair is very, very finely braided, but you pick up Sherlock Holmes style. Like there's just some little wisps out of place that doesn't seem quite. She doesn't seem quite herself this morning as she comes up. She says, "Oh goodness, Persephone, it's so good to see you." She stifles a little yawn. "I'm so sorry, it's early yet. Well, what are you having?"
Sorry, really fast. Does Bonnie look like she's been crying or just like she didn't sleep well?
I'd say with a 26, probably some of both.
Okay. And then, sorry, the other thing that we want to know, does she glance towards 3 strings at all and he towards her, or no?
Again, with the 26, definitely there's a significant, there's a wow 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 wow, like me and you have. There's like some there's some evident attraction and a kind of like a you have to acknowledge each other when you come into the room style situation. 3 strings.
He doesn't think they broke up.
That's not the vibe that you're getting. 3 strings is sending out like a concern, are you okay vibe, and Bonnie's like kind of sending back well enough, Wow wow
wow. Bonnie, if we could have like a couple coffees, that would be really nice.
Sure.
And then just whatever Ernan sets for breakfast, something like medium-ish would be great.
Great. Coming right up. I hope you all are
Thank
well. Good travels.
They've been pretty exciting. Do you want to sit down and hear about them for a minute? It's not very busy, and we're not so hungry
things first. But I'll be back.
Oh, all right.
And you can tell me about who your handsome friend is.
Yeah.
She takes off, and a few moments later, she'll be returning. Is there anything you want to talk to Jack about while she's gone? Stepped away.
Jack, I'm a little worried about the subtlety of our questions. I forgot to mention in our opening that we, our friends, the Shard Shunners, the band of were-rats who live in the northern part of Waterdeep, helped us put some pieces together that made us think that it was the hidden hand who's responsible for what's happening.
Well, I wonder... I think maybe you could be subtle first, and then if that doesn't work,
right,
I'll bust out Dreamcarver. And then if she doesn't tell us what we need to know, I think that 3 strings will.
You want to hold Bonnie hostage inside of the Yawning Portal?
No, I don't want to fight Durnan.
He would be pretty mad. It's a pretty strict no weapons larger than, depending on who you are, your hand or your forearm policy. And Dreamcarver like any of the policies.
So maybe not a good plan. Bonnie comes up with some food and sets it down. And she's brought a cup of coffee for herself and sits down across from you all. Sorry, it's
Bonnie, I'm sorry you're so tired. You can tell me about that too if you want to. But you asked me to introduce. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be rude before. Bonnie, this is Jack Iron Fist. Jack and I met in Daggerford and have been traveling together for a couple months now.
charmed. To be sure. What a big sword you have. Indeed.
It's named Dreamcarver. It's just telling Jack about Dernan's rule about how no weapons with names get to come inside of the bar.
I think it's a good rule. If a weapon has got a name, then you can't take it out.
We can't take it out. Well, how have things been here? You seem did people stay late last night? Was there like an invasion of some sort from the portal that yawned?
Not really. It's just been a few late nights recently. She kind of looks a little bit nervous.
The good kind of late nights?
Oh, she kind of blushes a little bit, glances over at Three Strings. Well, unfortunately, not exclusively.
I'm sorry.
I recently got in touch with some friends from back in the day, before I started here, actually, before Dernan was kind enough to take me in. And Persephone knows that Bonnie's been here for a couple of years.
Okay.
Well, sometimes people don't turn out like you think they might.
That sounds kind of bad.
Yeah. Have you ever had a friend that I don't know, you like met them and you thought that you knew them, or even a family member, and then they just like turn out to be something totally different?
It's happened to me a couple of times. Well, Bonnie, are you safe?
She kind of glances over at Three Strings, and you kind of follow her sight line, and Three Strings is like just wow, 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 like totally focused on what you all are talking about. And she says, Bonnie gives kind of a wry smile and says, I think so. I hope so.
Those are two different things.
Yeah. I'm sure it's fine. So.
Also, when it happened to me before, actually near around when I met Jack, and a friend in Daggerford turned out to be much more interesting than we had bargained for. And so we arranged kind of an elaborate reveal, kind of half on purpose, half by accident. And then our friend showed her true winged colors.
Oh my goodness, your friend had wings and you didn't know off the bat?
Yes, she can hide them if she wants to.
I know something about hiding, she says, and just kind of like. She just trails off.
Oh. What are you talking about? I still see you. Are you hiding from your friends?
If I was, I'd be doing a poor job of it right now. But I hope it doesn't come to that.
Are you hiding in plain sight?
She kind of chuckles. And with Persephone's insane insight, there's a lot behind that.
How long were you all friends before?
We grew up together. But we came here to Waterdeep a couple of years ago, and things were tougher, then Waterdeep can be really hard to get along in, and Waterdeep can be kind of cutthroat. And well, I thought that I had a better chance of basically surviving if I kind of broke off and did my own thing. So I didn't see them, really my family, for a couple of years, and here recently they've gotten back in touch, and they she kind of leans in a little bit. Can I trust you?
Yes.
Roll a persuasion check.
Okay. Oh, I'm rolling so well. That is an 18. Definitely can trust me.
I know I can. Well, I think that they might be into some kind of bad things. I think that maybe in the couple of years since I was with them, I think they've, and she leans in even closer, hurt people. And you hear bang from the side of 3 strings kind of breaking, and now he's down to 2 strings. Durnan says,
There's anything. God.
Durnan says, boy, that's it. Take a pill. And he's like, right, I'll take 5 instead. And kind of hustles over to you all. And
Would you like to come take coffee with us?
Slides in next to
invite
Bonnie.
him over.
Yeah. And
okay, cool. Sorry, I talked over what you were saying.
He says to Bonnie as he slides in, I can't believe you're telling them. Bonnie says, I can trust them. They're nice. We don't know who to trust.
You know that we're sitting right here.
I don't know that that's something that I know.
We need you to figure it out. Or else.
By the very nature, and Bonnie says, and you think that I don't know? She kind of turns back around to you all.
I think that you are displaying a remarkable accuracy in your judge of character right now.
2 strings doesn't look too sure. But nevertheless, Bonnie says, and I'm torn, they're my family, and I want them to be well. But I don't want them to hurt anybody, and I don't know. What would you do?
Guess it's kind of depends. Someone else that we met in Daggerford, their sister was trying to take all of the money, and then she was going to kill a bunch of innocent people, and so they kind of had to turn her over to help all of the, and it ended up being good for, well, I don't know that good is the right word, but they kind of didn't have a choice. And I wonder, what might have been saved or helped if they'd intervened a little bit sooner.
So, are you saying that you think that I should, roll over on my family?
I don't know. If the situation were reversed, or if they thought that you had told something about them to someone they didn't want to know, what would they do?
2 strings is kind of like freaking out. And she just kind of like puts a hand on his shoulder, calm him down a little bit. She says, well, I don't think that they would have the same regard for me as I have been trying to have with them.
I don't know that you owe them anything. To be really honest, I would do anything for my daughter, my brothers, my mother, but they would do that for me. So even if we all turned to some sort of crazy life of crime and we were like making people disappear and reappear, or like messing up their memory and ability to speak, or tricking their loved ones and taking their money, that's what we would do, but we would do it together and we wouldn't hold it over each other's heads. We actually wouldn't do that. It's kind of weird for me to picture it, but
Two String says, "My, what an oddly specific example." Eyes big. Persephone, I'm gonna have you roll one more persuasion check.
okay. Okay, it's cocked, but it's a nat 20. I do it again. Okay, that's a 14.
I think that the nat 20 probably counts. So Bonnie says, I mean, yeah, birthday, duh. The nat 20 is gonna work. Bonnie says, well, I don't know if you'd be willing to, but maybe you could help me.
Bonnie, I would love to help you. Jack and I are really good at helping people.
It's true. Bonnie kind of looks from you to Jack to Dreamcarver. I'm sure. So, I was recently approached by one of my brothers. His name is. But wait, let me find his name real fast.
Okay.
His name is Baez, and he wanted me to come. Well, he said that they had been thinking about asking me to come back, but wasn't sure how I felt. But he thought that I deserved to have the opportunity if I so wanted. I was delighted to see him. I hadn't seen him in some time. Like I said, it had been a couple of years, really. So he took me down to where he said the family had started a new business in kind of the northern part of the dock ward, a place called Mist Shore. And,
right.
Well, it turns out that they weren't, packing and shipping boxes or loading boats with goods or, I don't know, tarring the bottom of boats or whatever else they do in the dock ward, making rope, probably. That sounds like a thing.
Surviving.
But they were all down there, and they had some others with them that weren't part of the family, and they're kind of like doing jobs for people, but not nice jobs.
Mm-hmm.
He said that they were. He said that it was time for me to take my place as a part of the hidden hand, and that, well, with my, with what I can do, that I would be a real asset. And at this point, like when she says what I can do, Two Strings is like losing his mind, just a nervous wreck. And but I mean, they made it sound great. That's kind of their thing. They can take anything and just make it seem like the best idea ever. But, well, I realized, kind of behind the spiel, they were leaving a lot of broken lives in their wake, and I'm afraid even like literally broken lives. Like, I think that maybe they have killed some people. I don't want to take it to the city watch because I am a little bit afraid of what they might do if they find out. And they're my family. So I don't know. They were saying that they were They were saying that they were about to have big things happening that after a while they wouldn't have to worry about being so hidden anymore. But I don't know, it's a little bit of a blur. I made some excuses and came back here, and I don't know. Matrim has been so worried for me. He's a little nervous anyway.
It seems to come pretty naturally to him, but I think it's extra nervousness because he cares about you so much. But Bonnie, I have to ask you a question.
Okay.
What is this special thing that you can do?
Well, I can't show you here, but I can make myself look different.
Mm-hmm. And did they ask you to make yourself look different?
Mm-hmm. They said that they had something planned that they wanted my help for.
Did they say who they wanted you to look like?
No, I got out of there. Well, I didn't commit to anything, and I got out of there kind of as fast as I could. But something... They kept referring to V. Like, oh, she'll be great as V.
V.
V. I think it was a code.
As Persephone's thinking about it, does she know anybody whose name starts with a V besides Vincent Trench?
Roll a history check.
12.
There are a whole bunch of people whose name starts with V, and as you're thinking of them, the list of names kind of gets sing-song in your head, but nothing just like, oh yes, it's got to be this V.
Juliet, can you think of anyone?
Juliet, your Fey Fox friend, looks at you like she knows who it is, but she's not telling because she found out that her and Jack aren't getting married.
She's still mad at me. All right. I'm sorry I left Juliet out of the introduction, too.
It's okay.
Poor Juliet. I think you're probably right about it being some sort of code. When did they want you to meet them?
Well, I guess I'm a little bit extra nervous because I was supposed to meet them yesterday evening, and I just stayed here and worked my normal shift.
It is a good cover if you're worried. And you can always say, oh, I could not get away, I had to work.
Yeah.
So, well, you see this going one of two ways. Then we can come up with other ways. But Jack and I would love to help you. I guess we can do away without you being very involved. It might involve you telling us a little bit more, or we can do away where you pretend to be involved and then we figure out how deep embedded everything is.
Oh, goodness.
So do you want to pretend like, oh, I would love to be V. I've always wanted my name just one letter long. And then you like pretend to, then we find out who V is and kind of go from there. Or do you want to not really see them up close until things are more settled?
Bonnie looks really kind of nervous, and she says, well, I want to be... And Three Strings kind of throws his arm over her shoulder and says... And like kind of dramatically, bard-like, drapes over her. Shh, my love. And she's totally into it. It's not like overbearing for her. And he turns back to you all and says, such a delicate flower should not walk into the furnace of familial fury that would certainly be waiting for her. I'm afraid I can't allow it. My little heart couldn't bear it, for her to put herself in danger like that.
What if, I mean, how do you know she's not in more danger here with you?
Well, I will protect her, or at least Durnan will. Durnan
And then
looks
that makes sense to me.
eminently capable.
You are safe with Darnan. Honey, what do you want?
I think I feel more comfortable providing information because I don't know. I can't help but to feel like if I went down there, they would know. Actually, I'm certain that they would know.
Mm. Because they have ways of finding out, or do they just tend to know things?
Both.
Mm. You can disguise how you look. Can you change how other people look?
I'm afraid not.
So it's been really cool.
Persephone, roll a history, nature, or arcana check.
Okay. I pick Arcana. 14.
14.
Actually, it's the same regardless. I choose a triple roll. It's a 14.
So, if she can change the way she looks and can't change the way that other people look, and especially kind of what she's hinting around with like her family, just being able to know things, it sounds doppelgangery to you.
Honey, can you make yourself look like anyone whenever you want?
She kind of gives you a very serious, slow nod, yes.
Just can you tell me what Persephone knows about doppelgangers? I don't know how much experience she has with them.
Yeah, so Persephone knows kind of just that there are humanoids that are not considered that are considered like their own, I don't know, species, um, that can basically change how they look at will and are this, if you believe the stories, which I think is how Persephone would kind of like through the lens through which she would understand doppelgangers, is that some of them have the ability to read minds. And you also have the experience of the doppelganger in New Horizon, when it was one of the fated ones,
Yeah.
the ill-fated ones.
Mm-hmm. I just wasn't sure beyond, because he was like really special as a doppelganger, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Okay. And Persephone's stomach is like turning just a little bit, remembering.
He was so bad.
Yeah. I understand. Understand why you want to protect your family.
I want to stop them too. Do you think that you could?
Can you tell me how many of them there are?
There are 5 of them.
Right.
They won't all be
There.
in. They won't all be in one spot at the same time.
That's good.
Actually, I really only saw. Saw Baez and picked one of my sisters when we were in Miss Shore.
Right. Mm. Right. Yeah, Jack and I can take care of it.
I think that, I don't know. I feel like I mean, if you brought some kind of proof or evidence of what they were doing or what their big plan was or something to, I don't know, the authorities, maybe they could take over. Maybe they could just go to jail or something.
Maybe. I guess it depends on what all they have done. Are the Arbaeas or Pict very magical?
Magical?
Do they make things?
No, not really. The only one of my siblings that has ever had any kind of interest in the only one of my siblings that has ever had any kind of interest in magic and whatnot is Seert.
Where is Seert?
I haven't seen Seert.
Do you think that's he, she, they are here for sure?
I don't know. Part of me hopes that that he's not involved and that um, maybe he's studying magic somewhere safe, away from all this. I
I think
really
it's really sweet of you to think that, but I guarantee that he is involved.
she looks sad.
If he were involved, disguised as someone, is there anything more you can tell me who Seert would normally disguise himself as?
Well, I mean, wherever Seert goes, Barabbas is not far behind him. They have always had a special bond. Um, but other than that, I'm sorry, I really don't know.
Is Barabbas like a bodyguard for Seert?
Barabbas is very protective of Seert.
Are they like lovers or are they brothers?
Oh no, they're brothers.
Right. Just
Here,
wondering.
no, yeah. I can point you directly to where they took me in Mistshore. I saw some stuff there that looked like, I don't know, plans, maps. It looked like there was a little workshop and like there were some funny plants that were kind of over there. Um,
Hmm.
but I'll show you on the map exactly where Mistshore is.
Sounds good.
I'm really relieved that you're looking into this for me.
I'm glad that you feel that way. I will try to do everything I can to make sure that you keep feeling that way.
And don't tell Durnan. I really like my job here.
Won't tell Durnan, but I don't think that. I think you may need to develop a new family. I'm really sorry.
I was afraid it might come to that.
You've heard of this hidden hand, and only if they have leverage over you, then boosterings here, Durnan, as close to you are in danger.
She looks really worried. Two string Two Strings puts on a brave little face and puffs out his chest a little bit, undoes a button. I would die for Bonnie.
But maybe they'll give you that chance.
He looks a little nervous, but then stiff upper lips his way through it and says, if you all can help her, then I will give you all of my earnings from this week.
It is very generous of you.
And next week.
Wow.
Bonnie looks at him like he's the most glorious and generous little boy.
It is extremely generous of you. Jack and I would be most appreciative. Hey, Jack?
Sure. He's anticipating it being like 5 gold.
Yeah, Persephone doesn't think it's going to be very much money, but we're trying to play in to this dude. Okay, so she shows us the spot on the map.
Yep, shows you the spot on the map. And then Darnan kind of barks over. Am I just paying you guys to sit around? What's going on over here? Let's go, hop 2. Table 3 has been waiting for half an hour. So they kind of have to make their excuses.
Hey, Darnan.
If you think of anything else that I can tell you, let me know.
Right. Wait, you said there are 5 total?
Uh-huh.
Who's the 5th one?
Oh, let's see. Barabbas and Seart and Baez and Pict and Nuke.
All brothers, huh?
No, Pict is a sister, and so is Nuke.
Interesting. Just kidding. Sorry, if it were Persephone wouldn't have said something so ridiculous. I don't know if those names mean anything to her or not.
Super not. Oh, and she...
Those names are always masculine among the Sadods.
She leans in and says, and my real name is Ike.
It is nice to meet you, Ike.
She kind of gives you a...
Can I ask you one thing?
Yes.
Ike. Do you make up how Bonnie looks? Or do you look like someone else?
Oh, Bonnie's just kind of a amalgamation.
I think that's really fascinating and really cool.
She gives you a smile. And it's like, Bonnie is almost like aggressively average looking. But yeah.
So Persephone feels like she's like made some choices to not be overly noticed.
Definitely.
Not what our friends Brisnixie and Francesca chose to do.
They took it a different direction. So, you finish up your delightful mid-morning breakfast, coffee, croissant situation.
Can we talk to Jack for just a second before
Absolutely.
will you show me the place on the map that we're going? And we're going to talk to Jack for just a second.
So you're over here right now. Oh, wait, sorry. You're like over here, and the place that you're going is over here.
Cool. Okay. All right. Jack, do you think we should just like run in confrontation style? Oh, is this where you saw them the other day when they were talking to? It's only 20 feet away. Is this where they were the other day? When you saw them talking to Xavier?
Oh, no. They were more to the south. I think that perhaps what I saw was just it wasn't their base of operations.
Do you know how far away their like mind reading works?
I'm sure I don't have any idea, but I wouldn't imagine it would be. Seems like it'd almost be a disadvantage if it was too far.
You think it would be too noisy?
I think so. They might have to be even engaged in conversation.
Right. Great. Well, I guess it is Mist Shore. Would we have picked that up from Bonnie?
What is Miss Shore? So you're familiar enough with the dock words to know that the area, the region known as Miss Shore is, like the dock wards are generally kind of like dilapidated and a little bit noisy and dangerous, and but Miss Shore especially is that kind of turned up a little bit. There are more ruined buildings and more kind of abandoned boats and things. It's kind of the armpit of the dock ward.
Okay.
We got to be careful to look out for that rat.
Yeah, they're bigger than a dog rat.
I don't want to see that thing. Imagine if algae ran across it.
We did run across it. That's how we found out about it.
That's right.
I was horrified. So anyway, these are definitely going to be weird. Just don't understand. Maybe we'll figure it out when we get there.
What don't you understand?
I can't figure out a way to kind of manage it. Oh, heck, we should ask for their help.
That is a genius idea.
Who should we be trying to overthrow? Think really big.
The Blackstaff.
Yeah.
Or... Oh, that's pretty good. Or Mert, maybe?
I think either the Blackstaff or Mert. Do you think that they would believe that the Blackstaff and Mert have a serious romantic relationship?
A serious romantic relationship? I'm not sure.
Right. We'll work out the nuances as we go.
I'll just follow your lead.
Right. I'll try to have one.
So, our cover
Somebody's
is...
feeling a lot better.
Okay, good. So, just to make sure, as you all kind of leave the Yawning Portal, Darnan says, "Alright then, bye."
Darnan, I'll see you later.
Tomorrow night, right?
My mom invites you to Queen Map tomorrow. Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow night.
Jack looks horrified. That's so random that he wants to come up tomorrow night.
Probably Liff is holding a special event or something. Like,
Yes, I remember him saying that he was opening a new cask of Barovian Reds.
that makes sense. Darnan would appreciate that.
Jack looks nervous for a little bit, but back in the sun of Waterdeep and making your way now on a mission, he's able to kind of like turn that back around. So, we're going to go to the Mist Shore, and we're going to see if we see anybody sketchy enough to ask about the Hidden Hand in order to put them in our employ.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to follow your lead, and if you start throwing fireballs, then I will start waving my sword around.
I think that's a really good idea. Hopefully I actually have kind of a feeling it will come to that, but hopefully we can figure out some stuff that's happening first. They wanted us to be able to like volunteer, and then they would tell us their whole plan, and then we would be like, haha, and then we would overturn it, but I think that's kind of maybe not going to happen so easily.
Psych, we're not volunteers, actually.
We are the masterminds. We've taken over your plan.
Nice. Good. So you all make your way out of the little kind of more civilized area and into the sketchier parts of the dock ward as I bring us over into another screen.
Hey!
I was trying to use the Fog of War tool, and it takes so much effort to kind of like reveal areas that you can see.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not convinced it's worth it.
Nothing has changed for me.
Ba ba ba.
Yay! Yeah, gosh. Don't see very much. Sorry.
Our puppies got us up at 3:10 this morning to celebrate Beth's birthday. So we've been working on that all day.
I did not appreciate it.
Carolina thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
So,
Honey, is this going okay so far?
I think so. Are you interested with what's going on with the hidden hand?
Yes, we are ready to do something extreme.
I love it. So as you, how did the pups celebrate? How have the puppies celebrated your birthday, honey?
They've been extra needy today, to help me make sure that they are there for every moment of my birthday, by going outside into the cold a lot, and just crying some in general. Our Buck, I don't know if there he is behind you. Buck has developed a fear of linoleum floors, which not these two rooms, but like a lot of our house has. He thinks he's gonna fall, so then he rushes. So then, of course, it makes him slide, thus perpetuating this new phobia that he has. So he spent a good part of the day trapped in doorways, and he won't follow me into them. So that's been it's really sad and it's super ridiculous. But then tonight they were really cuddly and sweet. So that's how we actually celebrated. It was just like a warm up, a game of contrast or something, probably.
Yeah. We like to explore how silly we can be at any given time, so that we're not limited at all.
Mm.
Oh, dang. Okay. I'm trying to show you more of this map. Here it is. Ta-da!
Yay! Did something big happen?
No, it was supposed to. Here we go.
Ow! Okay, cool.
There's plenty
I like
of
this map.
Miss Shore, right? It's a pretty cool map.
Uh-huh. Boat looks crazy. Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
So you walk down into Miss Shore, the kind of vibe of the dock ward here. Much of the dock ward you feel very comfortable in. You've lived here for a good portion of your life, but as you continue on, like you know the sections of the dock ward to that traditionally Esmeralda would have advised you to avoid. And this is definitely one of those sections. But nevertheless, you're here with your big hunky Jack bodyguard, feeling pretty good, and your magnificent chosen of Cassandra purple streaked hair kind of loves the breeze coming in off of the Waterdeep harbor, and you know, in spite of the sketchiness and the high percentage chance of there being some violence in the next little bit, you are feeling happy to be on a little adventure with the man that you've chosen.
Jack, I need to ask you for a favor while we're down here.
Lady of Fortune, you know that I would do anything for you.
Thank you. So, you would need to. I need you to not look worried about me while we're walking around, but instead, like, this is where we're meant to be. We're here all the time.
Oh, sorry.
No, you didn't do anything wrong. And just kind of thought of it a little bit preemptively, just in case.
No, that makes sense. I was definitely giving off a vibe.
Yeah, and the vibe. It makes sense why you would feel concerns, but we're going to pretend we're here on purpose. Besides, we're scarier than they are anyway.
No, that's true. You can literally make direwolves jump out of the Feywild and eat people's faces. If needed.
One of my many talents.
That's right.
Or just in case.
Or just in case. So, you all, you kind of walk down through the dock ward, and I'm going to have you roll a perception check as you get close to the dock.
Okay.
You detect that there's kind of some movement.
Rolled a nat 1, so 6.
And you're going to roll it with advantage since you're doing it with a party.
Okay. Better, 17.
You hear the you hear an exchange between a pair of kind of surly figures. Well, he said to get everything out. It's not working out here anymore. We gotta go. I just don't understand why we're gonna make a home here and then now we gotta go. Sounds kind of sad. Listen, I don't make the rules, okay? I mean, but the boss says go, we go. You hear the voice coming from a couple of figures just around the corner. And the conversation kind of, they begin to move.
Okay,
southward
Jack and I
a
are
little
going to
bit.
catch up to them.
Okay. So you round the corner.
Ready?
Yeah, yes, I'm so ready.
Mm-hmm.
You get around the corner and you catch the eye of a couple of individuals. They're both, they're clearly bandits. They're they're clearly bandits. They're each one has like a big crate, and they've got some like crude weapons with them, and they're heading down south, like evidently loading up the boxes onto one of these mini boats over here. But they kind of are you doing it stealthily, or are you just going in for it?
Just strutting down the street.
As you strut down the street,
I hope that they're not silly. I hope that they're not reckless enough to have skipped out on our meeting.
Nice. One of the bandits hears somebody approaching and stops and turns. Let's say it's this guy, and says, well, pretty lady. What brings you round these parts? Looking for a date?
No.
Oh.
If you know why I'm here, then we can talk. But if not, then I need to talk to your boss.
Huh. You want to talk to the boss, do you? Who's your big friend?
My date.
Oh. Jack kind of flexes his pecs at him. Jack, roll an intimidation check.
Awesome. I brought Jack's dice up here too. Okay. That is a 14.
Right. Okay. You need to talk to the boss. I mean, they're... Whatever. Follow me. This guy keeps on going down, and this guy turns to lead you all down here. He doesn't look back. Do you all follow?
I follow. Persephone keeps an eye on the friend for a minute.
Okay.
And honey, I've lost the music.
Oh.
It stopped.
Uh,
You have to. Do you see the loop?
Here we go.
Music by Tabletop Audio. Thank you,
Yeah,
Tabletop Audio.
thank you, Tabletop Audio. So good.
So the one who asked us out is the one who's leading us, and
Yes.
then his friend is continuing on to.
Is continuing on down this this direction and taking a
Okay.
right. So you following this guy?
Hmm. So we walk beside him. You normally pick up dates while you're at work.
You know, it's never worked out, but nothing ventured, nothing gained.
You gave up like immediately, so.
Are you saying that there's a chance?
Not what I'm necessarily saying, but I am saying if you want there to be a chance, not in this exact situation, but just in general, you might need to ask like more than once.
You're really helpful. So he leads you all kind of down towards the dock, and
Okay. My friend went.
Yeah, little friendo down here. He's a different guy now, but he's gonna say, "All right, that's far enough." Patrick, who you got here? And he's like, "They're here to see the boss." He's like, "The boss isn't seeing anyone. What are you two doing here? What are your names?"
Your name first.
I'm the one that'll ask the questions here.
I'm here to see your boss.
What kind of name is that?
The only one you're going to get.
Oh. Well, sorry. If you're gonna be like that, then the boss is no longer here. I'm the boss.
What are you?
Yep, isn't that right, Patrick? Patrick's like, looks confused.
Patrick, what's your friend's name?
He's the boss.
I was imagining Bad's looking kind of different, but that's just me.
When you drop the name Baez, he says, "Oh, you're here to see Baez. Is that right?"
Yes.
Well, you're in luck. He hasn't quite left yet. Let me go see if he's seeing people. Can I tell him who he's asking about?
I think that he is expecting us. But yes, you can tell him that Cassandra and she would have had tell him that Cassandra and Iron are here to see him.
Roll a deception check.
I don't know why these are such good fake names. 19.
All right. Cassandra and Iron Lord.
Just Iron.
Oh, just Iron. Okay. He walks off, and you hear some muffled voices. One slightly raised voice, like, "What?" You know, like kind of carrying over across the waves. But eventually, he comes back and says, "All right, he'll see you." And he and Patrick both lead you and Jack over into this little area. And before you see, kind of leaning against the wall near the boat dock here, the boat dock, that's what we call it. This area is actually really interesting because there's like a lot of little kind of shanty buildings, and then this boat here is dilapidated. It's not seaworthy, and it's like dry docked on the harbor, like half on the pier, and just kind of you can see into the bottom of the boat, where it's kind of
Okay.
hollowed out. There are some supplies and stores, but you see some other individuals like Patrick and his nameless friend that are busy beyond Baez. They're loading up a couple of boats that actually look seaworthy.
Okay.
Kind of in the distance. You see him over there?
Yes. Sorry, I hadn't scrolled far enough. They have a spider.
Technically, you don't see that.
Okay.
There's like
Sorry.
there's a little low
It was
building over here.
crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. And so when I'm looking at Bayaz, what do I see?
When you're looking at Baez, you see, he's got a cowl over his head, kind of hiding a lot of his features. He's a relatively stocky individual, but as he turns, you see looking at you dead in the face, Xavier, and he says, "I wasn't expecting anybody."
It's all right. We're a bit of a surprise.
Oh, goody. You know my name and I don't know yours.
Oh, I thought that your friend just introduced us. Sandra and Iron.
Yeah, I'm not buying it.
Not?
Well, because your name is Persephone and your name is Jack. But I don't know why you're here. Why are you here?
It's interesting that you would know one thing and not the other. Especially since I just told you with that first set of names.
He says, listen, we're on a tight schedule over here, and if you're just coming by to, I don't know, whatever it is you're doing, then we don't really have time for that right now.
That's interesting because I'd heard you described as a visionary by Tavier.
Well, that is true. Tavier, how's he doing these days?
It's all right. He got a little spooked when maybe it wasn't the smartest of me, but told him a little bit of my plan. And this was after, he was very nervous to suggest you, as I think we both understand makes sense. But he said that no one else would have the guts to take it on.
So you've come...
But if you're too busy, then that's fine.
Well, I suppose it depends. We are very busy, but if you're able to make it worth our while, what is it that you have in mind?
A few months ago, I was forced into the Order of Mages and is it Mages and Protectors, honey?
Yes, the Order of Magists and Protectors.
Is forced into the Order of Mages and Protectors and have been made to do several exceedingly dangerous favors for Blackstaff, which I'm growing rather tired of. I think that if she can't do her own work, then maybe somebody else should do it for her. And with one of the most powerful people conveniently out of the city, I thought that what's better time than now?
Well, interesting. What exactly are you proposing? Are you are you chafing under the yoke of the Blackstaff and you want the Blackstaff to, tell me what you want.
I want to find someone capable of temporarily, perhaps even more permanently later, taking on the mantle of the Black Staff and giving me a bit more freedom in what I do.
Well,
I'd heard tale of an exceedingly gifted mage of one sort or another who has some fascinating ideas about the powers of transmutation, but
Persephone, I'm gonna have. Oh, sorry.
She just said again, if you're too busy.
Well, what can you offer us? That is the real question, isn't it? If we wanted to touch the Black Staff, then we would. What can you, Persephone Aral, give us for our assistance?
An actual hidden hand of fate.
He kind of gives a smile that belies the devious nature of this figure. This is a smile that Xavier could never muster in 1,000 years.
Poor Xavier.
And he says, well, I'm going to have you roll a deception or a performance check of some kind with all of your...
Dang, I rolled so high. So that is a 24.
24.
My Christmas stories in my new birthday container from just super lucky together. Probably because we're the chosen of the goddess of fate.
Definitely that. Let's see. Wow. Okay. He says, well, I think that we could strike a deal.
I have one condition.
Very well.
I need to talk to your brother.
My brother.
Yes.
Why would you want to talk to my brother?
I want to make sure that he is as gifted with these magical herbs as I've heard.
Oh, he's gifted.
Prove it.
Patrick, go take him. Baez kind of turns and like very coolly throws a head over his shoulder and says, we'll be in touch. And begins going over here to where the others are. Patrick behind you says, okay, follow me. What do you do?
So Patrick, how are you enjoying your time in Waterdeep? Just gonna walk with Patrick.
Okay. Waterdeep is the only place I've ever known. It sucks, but the little guy that was originally kind of being the guard for Baez says, don't talk like that in front of them. And they kind of bicker.
Patrick, it's totally fine. You can be honest with me.
Yeah, I can, he says to the other one. Well, I just, I just want to make a living and, provide for my family.
I think that is a very admirable, nice goal.
My girlfriend's pregnant again.
Does your family live here? Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah.
You enjoy being a father?
Well, it kind of sucks.
Lots of pressure, I'm sure.
They always want things.
Babies?
Yeah. So, Patrick and his little buddy are going to lead you all into this little side building over here, and entering into this area, you see a figure in a robe huddled over some like an alchemical table. You see some bundles of herbs being kind of taken out by the bushel,
Mm.
and by one of the bandit folks, and they pass you, kind of leaving as you come in. But as that simultaneously as that happens, the other guy working at the little table kind of turns around and says, "What are you doing here?" And Patrick says, Mr. Baez said that these two need to talk to you. And so they're going to set up on the outside door of this guy's little workshop.
Okay. Is Barnabas in here too? Barabbas?
Looking around, it seems that this is the only figure that's in this room. Actually, roll a perception check just to make sure.
Okay, 21.
21. Glancing around, you don't see any other figures, but there is a curious little homunculus that's just like sitting on a shelf, and behind him there are some like, you've been around long enough and around mages and whatnot long enough to notice like spell components, and like there are beakers and vials and mortar and pestle and stuff like that, but there's also kind of tucked into the side of it a very fine green leather spell book that has like working on it on the spine that makes you think of the Eldura house crest.
Awesome. So we kind of scoop up Juliet from the floor, and Juliet, look at the homunculus. What a sweetheart. How are you? We say to it first.
It is very foul-tempered and like produces like a tiny little nail file and jumps up and kind of hisses. It's like the cutest, weirdest little... It kind of looks like Baby Yoda if Baby Yoda was mean.
What a sweet reaction. Seart, is this your protector?
And kind of pushing back the cowled robe, you see feminine figures. A feminine figure. And I'm afraid you have me confused. I'm picked.
I was supposed to come to see your brother, Seart.
Well, sorry to disappoint. Seart is busy.
That's as I feared.
Did Bea send you in here for a reason?
Yes, I was supposed to talk to Seart and see if he was quite as adept as I had been led to believe.
Seart is adept, all right, but he has no craft, no style. If you were looking for adroitness with the arcane, then I'm sure that's why Bea sent you my way.
It is so embarrassing that we listened to Tavier about this. Picked, I am dreadfully, dreadfully sorry. I meant no offense.
Roll a persuasion check, because her feathers are a little ruffled.
11. I'm just going off of what Bonnie said.
Yeah. You're fine. Seart is rash and lucky at the same time. Quite an annoying combination, I must say.
I know a little bit about luck.
Well, If Bea sent you in here, then what is it that you want to see? Are you supposed to... She kind of like leans, she squints a little bit. Are you helping us with the House of Inspired Hands?
I'm so glad that you asked. Yes.
Roll a deception check.
Actually, sorry, really fast before I answer that, do I feel like... okay.
No, tell me.
No. 13.
13? So, she says, that's wonderful.
She actually think that's wonderful?
I'd say with your passive insight and how poorly she just rolled with her advantage, yes.
You see, Pict, I am a gifted mage myself, though of a less studied, more connected nature than one so adept as yourself. And I mean, obviously, my skills are more a product of curiosity, and as you say, luck. But I have been hoping to study under one so gifted, and what I really wanted to see, why I think that Bea's really sent me in here, is your passion for your work.
It is a hard-won knowledge that I have gained. I didn't just stumble into it like Seert, she kind of says annoyedly. Sacrifices have to be made to access the kind of power that is now at my fingertips.
Well, and may I ask you a question then, as you're so studied and wise?
Please.
Do you believe the true nature of power is?
Jack kind of smiles in the corner of your, in the corner of your vision. And she says, kind of without hesitation, you must not let anything hold you back. You must have no lines that you will not cross in order to achieve your end. The one who is willing to give everything over to their pursuit is the one that in the end of the day will prevail. I am such a one. Are you? She says, kind of growing impassioned.
Yes. So luckily for me, I think that right now our two pursuits are aligned.
Oh, yes?
Yes. That's why I'm here.
You will help me get into the vault, then?
Absolutely.
Good. I
am a little fuzzy.
Oh.
Oh, sorry.
So,
can you walk me through what we will do when we arrive there?
You and your man will strike down the priestess Valletta. She is the one that holds the key to the vault at the House of the Inspired Hand. When she is dealt with, I will take her form. She kind of, you watch kind of in amazement as her figures kind of undulate a little bit, and she appears as a dragonborn priestess with bronze kind of highlights on her scales, and kind of the deep, the actual surface of the scale is bronze, and then kind of the grooves and the spaces in between the scales, kind of like coppery green of like a patinaed bronze. But she stands before you, taller and just kind of like a very regal, noble-looking female bronze dragonborn.
Persephone's eyes kind of sparkle, and she says, "Magnificent."
Indeed. And with Valletta out of the way, I can take her form into the vaults and retrieve the item.
You're not worried about anything you will run into inside of the vault?
She kind of furrows her brow. Well, no. Nothing that I can't change to suit my own ends.
And on whose intelligence is it that you are certain of this?
I'm sorry, will you ask the question again? I didn't understand.
And on whose intelligence is it? Stephanie's trying to ask her, like, who scouted into the vault to assure her of this.
The Hidden Hand has many ways of finding out whatever we need to find out. A little from here, a little from there.
You're not frightened about your brother's feelings towards your power?
He's got quite enough on his plate maintaining his own ruse. So,
if you're sure.
Quite. So, fortunate that you are here. We had another that was supposed to take on this task, but they proved to be disappointing.
Some people can be incredibly surprising at the most inconvenient times.
There's no doubt about that. So you hear a big unsettling shift and kind of a groan in the room to the side. And she looks that way.
Where Patrick is?
No, it's, from this area, this room. Okay. And she says, load it. She kind of calls out, and Patrick pokes his head into the room and says, okay. And leaves again.
Jack, do you think Patrick needs help?
Jack looks a little nervous, says, sure. And he'll go with them.
Okay.
So the three of them begin heading out of the room. Now it's just you and Pict in the room. She says, come, won't you help me with these last few preparations? You said that you are talented with the arcane. She turns around, the homunculus keeping a close eye on you the whole time.
My power has its limits, but yes, I am gifted with the arcane.
So she indicates some stuff that she wants you to do in the workbench next to her. Is there anything that Persephone is angling for, or anything you're trying to find out?
She wants to get a good handle on like which ingredients are in front of her. And she is also waiting for an opportunity to manipulate said ingredients.
Manipulate said ingredients in what way?
We were thinking we might subtly druidcraft exchange one plant for another.
Okay. Yeah, so as you're working with some of the stuff, you recognize a few things that are before you, but other things are completely foreign. And you can roll. You want to try a sleight of hand?
It's you. 10.
10. As you begin kind of growing something that looks similar, the bronze dragonborn beside you snatches out her hand and puts it around your wrist and says, "What are you doing?"
You just want more wolfsbane?
That is not wolfsbane.
Are you sure?
She looks at you like, yeah, I'm sure. Roll a deception check.
8.
Deceptive, honey. Let's see. She's been rolling real bad until now. She says, "Are you trying to mess with my ingredients?"
Why would you think that?
You're creating things I didn't ask you to create.
I'm helpful.
I think not. Outside, you hear, "What the fuck?" from Jack. As there's kind of a big, like, sound outside. And then there's a crash.
Okay.
And a oof. And a Jack says, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa."
How distracted is picked by that?
As that happens, extremely distracted. So, like, there's a crash. She looks super worried. She says, "No, I shouldn't have. I should have done this myself." And there's a bang.
Mm-hmm.
And she begins to
can you hang
move
on for a
towards the
second?
door. Yes.
Okay. So, perfect. So she's moving towards the door. What's the most flammable thing around me?
Most flammable thing around you has got to be, there's, I don't know, there's a bunch of like dried herbs and whatnot in kind of one corner.
It looks like it might explode.
There's definitely some oily looking, there's like a bin of oily rags to the side, conveniently.
Hey, we would like to change our tack and abandon the really good plan that we had forming for the chaos plan that is occurring to us right now.
Nice. I love it. Chaos plan.
Okay. So Persephone glances up at the homunculus, smirks, casts produce flame at the bag of oily rags, nabs the spell book, and like tucks it under her belt, and, like wraps her scarf around it, and then we run outside to help Jack. I know that's a lot of things.
I
That's
love
what we
it
would like
so
to do.
much I can't even stand it. Okay, so look up at the homunculus. It's looking like it's kind of stood up out of its. You see, it's made a little chair out of some like rubbish that it's found and kind of propped together. It stands up out of its chair as the kind of crash bang happens, and Pict begins to run out of the room. And as you look up at it, it makes eye contact with you. It begins to bare its teeth, and you make fire in your hand. It kind of like looks a little startled and back a little bit. You toss it over into the rags. which erupt into multicolored flames, shooting sparks into the room and creating a heavy plume of smoke just all of a sudden. We love when Dad gets animated. So you're going to snatch the book. I'm going to let you do the fireball as the produce flame as kind of a free action, but I'm going to ask that you roll a sleight of hand for grabbing the spell book around the homunculus who's wielding a nail file.
Okay. The sleight of hand. 17.
17. So you grab it, and the little homunculus drives the nail file into the wood right as your hand escapes. It's a beautiful book. Actually, on the bookshelf to your left, next to the Daughters of the Forest book, there's a book. Green leather.
Is this mine?
That's yours, baby. Happy birthday.
You lied to me. It's beautiful. I love it. Thank you.
You're so welcome.
So pretty. Ooh. Is this my spell book?
That's your spell book.
I love it so much. Thank you, honey.
You're so welcome. You gotta hold it up to the camera.
Ooh. Yeah. Can you see?
Yeah.
Ooh. I can't believe you told me it wasn't here.
I wanted to
It's so
surprise
funny.
you.
I love it.
I don't think I told you that it wasn't here. I think I was very careful to not lie to you explicitly.
Like Persephone's been doing.
Yes.
I love it so much. Thank you.
I'm so glad. Our friends at Elderwood Academy made the beautiful spell book for holding dice and whatnot. And it's hyper custom for my hyper custom honey.
I really wanted a green one with red oak. It's so beautiful.
Right? I love the detail on the border and the gold with the moon.
Mm.
Did you open it?
Yeah. Was there supposed to be something inside? Because I missed it.
Oh, no. It's just got space for your hex chest.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
You're so welcome.
I can put my purple pin in here.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. We rescue our new pretty book.
Yeah.
Thank you, baby.
You're welcome, honey. So the homunculus stabs his nail file into the wood as the room begins to fill with smoke and multicolored flashing lights. Standing in the doorway, you see Pict whip around, magic burbling in her hand. I'm going to have us roll initiative because things just got for real.
Dun, dun, dun.
Is the music playing for you? Music's not playing for me.
No, I can't hear it.
How annoying.
Does chat hear it? Sometimes that happens to me and I have to hit refresh.
I'm going to
That
try to
was
refresh
before.
it.
Our stream has been like a lot. Okay.
Yeah, it's been a lot more stable recently, which is nice. Here we go. Okay. So you rolled a
18.
Okay, you want to roll for Jack?
Yes. That's like our highest initiative ever.
That's pretty good.
That's a 14, Jack.
Okay. We'll just make some noises with our mouths for the combat music, okay?
Touch our cups together. We will make a pink sound with our mouth.
I don't understand.
I wish I had some like royalty-free music saved on my phone. I would just play that.
Yeah. Well, it brought me into a different game of Roll20, which is not helpful. Like I refreshed the
Princess is
page
calling
and it
for me.
literally put me into a different game.
You into a different role?
Yeah, it went to the school
Weird.
club game.
Funny.
It's so silly.
Sorry. I think this is so cool, though.
I really like the chaos plan that emerged.
What we were going to do was try to convince Pict that. So, well, besides the original plan of trying to go with Pict's plan and then sabotage it along the way, we were then more immediately going to.
Oh no. Honey, everything's frozen. Everything's going to terrible.
What do I need to do? Hi, you're back.
Hey.
Hey.
Hi.
Hi.
Goodness gracious.
Are we still on stream?
It's trying to reconnect.
Okay. Baby, I love my dice box so much. It's beautiful.
Baby, I'm so glad.
These leaves are incredible. It's super soft.
It's so soft.
Did the people at Elderwood Academy tell you that they really loved it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Are you so happy? Is it everything you wanted it to be?
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. Now we're back.
We're back.
Goodness gracious.
Hello, chat. Sorry about that.
Everything happened.
I still don't have any music.
There's no music. Come on. Okay. I wonder if I can
I'll
add.
just hear the music in our heads like we're on Great British Baking Show.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun,
I'm gonna see if I can add it in to. Okay, I'm gonna add it into. Oh my goodness, that's not it. Terrible. Okay. Well, we're going to. Okay, so you rolled initiative. Persephone actually rolled higher than anybody else, so that's really helpful. As you whip around and you see Pict holding a ball of fire in her fiery little hands. What do you do?
Okay, we would like to. Okay. Like one of three plans. I think we're going to go with our favorite plan number 2.
So ready. What is it?
We turn our smirk from the homunculus to Pict, toss our hand out, and a black like stream of nothingness just streaks out of our hand, and we strike Pict in the chest with a blight spell.
Blight out the gate. All right, honey. That means she rolls a
On saving throw.
con saving throw.
Yeah.
Ooh, she rolled really good. She rolled an 18.
We use the ability that Cassandra gave us to manipulate a creature's fate. We roll our d8. And she loses 3 points off of whatever she just rolled.
Lowers it to a 15. Does that fail?
Else.
Wow. Okay. So.
Okay, I marked my thing off of my sheet.
The blight, the sickly black green crackling energy. It looks like it's gonna miss her at first, but then with kind of a small, I don't know. It's almost like it's like she finishes stepping and actually kind of manages to like settle her weight as she's kind of turning to see you, and settles directly into the path of the beam, unable to avoid it, taking the full brunt of it to her face. How much damage did you do?
We didn't roll very good damage.
You didn't roll great damage? How much are we talking here?
31.
21?
31.
31. Okay, 31 is still a lot. So, she is, you see her kind of side, her face. She can't maintain the image of the noble bronze dragonborn priestess Valletta, and, you know, kind of take the full brunt of this necrotic blast as she kind of shimmers. You see her true form, her doppelganger form, in the kind of, you know, struggling to maintain itself and hold herself together. She's still up, but she is worse than bloodied. She's very nearly not amongst the living anymore.
Awesome. For my movement, can you help me with something really fast?
Yeah, totally.
So on our map, so up to my, like, ahead of me to the right, this is like where the table is, right? That I caught on fire.
Yes.
Back, I can hear behind me, but there aren't any windows or anything through here.
Correct. There's no door to the south except for the way. Okay, so like here's the door. Sorry, I changed the map a little bit. And then
It's okay.
Here's a door, and then there's a door here and a door here.
Okay. There aren't any doors to my left.
No, there's just a wall.
Okay. Cool.
These are windows. Window. I don't know if it matters.
It was really helpful. Sorry, I'm trying to decide if Persephone wants to. Trying to decide if we want to run past her to where Jack is, or if we want to try to run around.
Okay.
How high off the ground and how large is the window?
It's not that high off the ground. It's pretty big, actually. It's covered with some like wax paper that lets in some light, but you can't really see through. That's why you weren't able to see, like, as you kind of walked past this area before, you weren't able to see in. But you could easily crash through the window if you wanted to.
Okay. And it's double movement to move through an enemy's space.
I don't. If you're not a halfling, I don't think that you can move through an enemy space.
You go through the window. Okay. 5, 10, 15. I
Unless
want to
you,
go
like,
through the window.
shoved
Will you
her.
help me?
Yeah.
I already took my action.
Yeah, I'm going to say that if you succeed on an athletics or dexterity check to get through that window, then you could use your full movement 30 feet out here.
I rolled a nat 1.
Oh, no.
So if it's athletics, that's 0. If it's acrobatics, then that's 5.
I'm going to say you get here and you, like punch through the glass window, but it's actually less glass and more like annoying kind of oily paper. And so you punch through, and instead of shattering and falling down and making an empty spot, it just kind of like there's just a little bit more sunlight kind of shining through.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yes. No, that's awesome. We're going to try not to be embarrassed. We're going to wheel back around. Like, this is exactly what we were intending to do the whole time.
Now there's more light in here. Ha. Cool. So Pict gets to go next, and then Jack is on deck.
Okay.
Okay. So Pict is severely wounded. However, she does have the wherewithal to. She looks at you with pure purple, gray, muscly, figured hatred, and she disappears as she casts
goodness.
a spell in order to render herself invisible.
Okay.
Okay. Now it's Jack's turn. Before him, crashing open, free from some binds or chains or things, Patrick and the little crony that are with him, kind of shaking in their boots. A massive stone figure looming before him, having crashed open through whatever cage door was holding it. In a blind rage, swinging its club furiously. That's what's greeting him at this moment. What does Jack do? Patrick says, "Oh!"
So it's swinging at them.
Yeah, it's in a fury.
Jack is gonna, and then rip out Dreamcarver. I don't know what else to have him do.
Yeah, totally.
Okay. And really fast. Sorry, I'm looking at. I need to zoom in the map a little bit. So this is Jack, right? This is
Yes.
Patrick.
Yep.
This is Patrick's friend.
Yep.
Who is this?
Oh goodness, that is the guy that was carrying bushels of like reagents and stuff. He's not there anymore.
Okay.
So
sorry. I just like.
Yeah.
That's fine. Just wanted to make sure. Okay. Yeah. Jack is gonna whip out Dreamcarver, and since we're not totally sure what to do right now, we are going to just make our 2 attacks.
Awesome. Roll attacks.
Okay. We rolled. Okay. So, our first attack is a 21.
Hits.
Our second attack is a 13.
Second attack is a 13. A 13 misses.
Embarrassing.
Actually, he hits it, but it doesn't seem to have a good effect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Oops. Ooh, I rolled. Oh, my damage die though. 18 plus 5 is 23.
23. Okay.
And it needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
Ooh.
Using one of our.
Wisdom saving throw. Here it goes. I rolled a 9.
Okay, so it needs to roll.
It gets advantage on wisdom saving throws, right?
Okay.
It rolled a 10.
So it needs to roll a D100, right?
Yes. 83.
It is stunned.
No, it isn't.
There's 2.
That's impossible. Condition immunities.
So friends in chat and friends on YouTube is special and can expend charge to force a target to make a wisdom saving throw, giving it a form of short-term madness if it fails.
So this thing is immune to a lot of stuff and not stunned.
Hey!
That's crazy. Okay.
Birthday.
Yeah, for real. It's the boys' turn next. They see this thing freaking out. And they both heroically run.
Good.
Double dash style.
Okay.
Oh, get out of here! And they run out of Jack's sight. Coming back around, it's Persephone's turn.
Okay. So we know that Pict disappeared on her turn without making an attack against us. Did we hear anything in the room move? And did the homunculus move?
Great questions. Roll a perception check.
Okay. 19.
19. Okay. You, in the chaos and the confusion, you didn't notice any footsteps or you weren't able to tell what direction Pict went. The homunculus, however, has jumped down off of the bookcase and is like advancing on you with rage in its little homunculus eyes.
Okay. Does Persephone know very much about homunculuses?
Roll an Arcana check.
20. Of course, this is what we get the nat 20 on. 24.
Actually, yeah, and there are plenty of stories that she'll have heard about homunculi. They are crafted and kind of imbued with life, with like out of clay, and
Okay.
oftentimes are created by wizards as kind of companions, familiars, and the like. Not very powerful.
Does she think if she leaves it behind that it will burn to death?
Probably.
Okay. It looks like a cute, funny animal.
I'll show you. It looks like... I really like the Beyond 20 extension for Chrome, because we use D&D Beyond, and I can do things like very easily show pictures in chat of the different things, or I can like send rolls directly into the chat, like so. That's what the homunculus looks like.
No. Okay. Persephone is going to run forward, nab it, and we're trying to run out. Find Jack. So we've got Juliet in one arm. We're gonna nab the homunculus with the other and say, "Come on, Gerald, it's time to go."
Awesome. As you reach for him, I'm going to have you roll a dexterity check. Try to grab him, because he's hostile to you.
Okay.
3. He dives out of the way and whips around a little nail file and tries to scratch you with it. And in so doing, he actually misses with the nail file, but manages... Oh, wait, so here, let me back up a little bit. You try to grab for him, and he seems like he's going to allow himself to be taken by you, and then as you begin to wrap your hand around him, he bites the crap out of your hand. Roll a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. 18.
18? Nice. So you feel the... you feel he's kind of like a nasty little bite, but you kind of shake it off, and it doesn't bother you too much. But he kind of snarls at you. Ah!
Persephone just like draws her back. Gah! Run. And Juliet and I are going to run out of this building.
Nice. So 5, 10...
Oh, wait, can I go out through the door?
Oh, yeah, totally. Sorry.
It's okay.
Is this a double dash situation?
Yes, please.
And you're going towards Jack?
And I got this board down here because I'm trying to get to Jack.
Yeah. We're going to say double dash style. You can get down here.
Okay. Right here?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you see Jack squaring off against a massive mound of stone that seems to be in a blind rage. You don't see Patrick or his little buddy anywhere to be seen.
Okay.
And also on your turn, the fire that was started is growing more and more severe, and there's like black smoke beginning to really billow out of this little warehouse.
Probably good. So Persephone's been yelling for Jack as she runs. Jack, it's time to go.
Right. Let's see. It's Pick's turn next.
Curtis wouldn't let me help him. We renamed the homunculus.
Curtis. That's really funny. Cool. So Pick does whatever Pick does, and the... Let's see, it's Jack's turn next. He's in combat with the statue stone figure before him. What's he going to do?
If he doesn't do anything, does it stay stunned?
It's going to start rolling saving throws after his turn right now, but it can't do anything in this moment.
Okay, I think he's going to take advantage of it being stationary for this moment and attack it again.
Ooh, roll your attacks with advantage.
Okay. So that is a 23 and an 18.
Both those hit.
Yeah. Okay. Come on, Jack. Doo-doo. Whoops. That is 16 plus 5 is 21. 3, 24 plus 10, 34.
Nice.
Cute.
Okay, it's still up. It's not rough.
Okay.
Pretty hardy figure before you. Does Jack want to use his movement?
Yeah, I think he's gonna run back here towards Persephone. 20. And then he's gonna use his strategic reposition.
Yeah.
Like, kind of whip her further around this side. Is that okay?
Totally. So one of the additions that we made to this GMPC was like a companion special reaction that he can use where he can trade his square with the PC, Persephone, so that he can like swap her out of trouble without provoking attacks of opportunity and stuff like that. It's a really fun kind of companion ability.
If he has unspent movement.
Yeah. Awesome. So he strategically repositions, and does that bring us to the thing's turn?
Mm-hmm.
It's going to try to shake off the effects. And so, yeah, it kind of and like starts getting crazy again and starts like punching its way out of the room it was confined in. I think it saves at the end of his turn. Is that correct? For Jack's Dreamcarver?
Can't remember what we decided. It's not on my sheet. Didn't we decide that it could go at the beginning so that it wouldn't just have to stand there?
I love it. I like when my bad guys can actually do stuff.
I think that's why we tweaked it.
In that case, he comes plunging out of the cage and he's going to try to slam Jack.
Okay.
How about a 19 and a 21?
Both of those hit.
Woo! So Jack needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh no. Okay. So he rolled super high, 25.
Nice. So he takes 27 points of bludgeoning damage as this thing just crushes into him with the ferocity of a mad construct.
Okay.
And Persephone, this looks like a homunculus mixed with, I don't know, all the craziness and fury of a deranged giant. This must be Gerald's older brother.
It's not like a shield guardian or something.
No.
Okay. Like, what is that?
It's some kind of golem or something.
Lost picked.
That's okay.
Burn down the building.
Good. Did you get... I guess this is happening like while they're fighting, like ducking around. Did you get whatever evidence you needed?
I just you didn't think about gathering evidence. Just thought about catching things on fire.
You got the book.
Yes. We don't want to say that out loud.
That's true. It's Persephone's turn.
Hey, okay. So we can't have this thing just roaming around the dock ward. That would be crazy. Fairy fire would have been so helpful before. Okay. This thing is made of stone?
Yes, it appears to be made out of stone and kind of living clay. It really does remind you of the little homunculus that was in there.
Okay. We are going to call lightning. Is that okay?
Do it. Rain down that sweet, sweet lightning goodness. Vengeance.
Okay, so dude needs to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. Dexterity saving throw. He's super dexterous. Totally not. Ooh. 7.
Awesome. So that is 17 points of lightning damage. We're going to just put it in the middle of him because it's like a 5-foot radius thing.
Yeah. Awesome. So the sky, like it's kind of like midday when you all went down here, but suddenly there's just kind of a gathering darkness that roils in from the harbor, and a flash of lightning streaks down into Mistshore, like splashing into this thing. A loud thunder crash, and nearby you hear a couple of people go, "Ah!" like kind of. Just surprised at the sudden thunderstorm that's shooting bolts of lightning down onto the area that they're in the vicinity of. But it's starting to look rough as we go back around to Jack's turn.
Okay.
I'm kind of skipping combatants that are not so around anymore.
Invisible. Left us all together. I'm so sorry we kind of lost track of our big thing that we were doing.
It's okay. It happens. Things happen at the moment.
Okay, Jack is gonna attack the thing.
Come on, big boy.
He's going to use a luck point. 21 and 19.
Both hit.
Awesome. Okay. 16 plus 7 is 23.
Yep.
For 34 points of damage.
Ooh.
I think again.
Yeah, that's what he did last time, I think.
We like to be consistent.
Okay. He's looking rougher and rougher. This guy's pretty hardy, but he's looking like he's feeling what you're putting down.
Awesome. And Jack is just going to stay where he is.
Awesome. So as the lightning strike slams into him, and as he kind of seems to be, it seems that as he's taking more and more damage, and it seems like he's having a hard time holding itself together.
Okay.
But nevertheless, it seems to be energized almost by the amount of damage it's taken, and it starts moving a little bit faster than it had, and it's going to rush forward, closing with Jack even further, kind of pushing a little bit, and it's going to try to smack him again.
Okay.
15 and a 12.
Both miss.
Wow. So Jack dancing out of the way with a litheness that is surprising in such a tall, muscular, big sword-wielding man. The golem thing crashes its massive club into just where he was and not where he is as we turn back around to Persephone's turn.
Persephone's eyes flash violet, and she strikes the thing again with the lightning that she's conjured. So it needs to make another dexterity saving throw.
Okay, it's moving faster than it was before. So, I had an advantage on this before anyway, so. Dexterity saving throw, 18.
Okay, so that saves. So it takes half. I only rolled 13, so 6.
6. Whew. It's looking rough, but it's still fighting. As we roll back around to Jack's turn. Finish him.
Okay, Jack is going to roll his 2 attacks. And nat 20.
Yay!
And Jack is going to use one more luck point. Roll even lower.
Oh
13.
no. 13 is not going to hit.
Okay. It negates our luck point, basically. Okay, so roll 10, so it becomes 20 plus 5. 25 damage to the thing.
25 is enough, nevertheless.
Yay!
So, honey, how does Jack take this thing out?
So is it like having trouble keeping itself together?
Mm-hmm.
I think that Jack is going to kind of like play into those weaknesses. And so if he can, like as it's moving faster, like he kind of moves into where it's headed and then like strikes free its parts of its person that are flailing where they shouldn't be.
So he steps into the thing as it's beginning to slam down. It looks for a second from Persephone's point of view that Jack has been crushed or consumed by this thing, but he's stepped into it, slashing down across its left foot, severing it entirely so it loses its balance and begins to fall forward. And Jack just plants himself to where he is under it, and it falls onto his sword, kind of impaling itself as he cuts his way through it, emerging in the midst of this stone clay freakish creature victorious.
It was so scary. Are you all right?
Yes, but what do we do now?
So the building behind us is basically on fire.
Yes, the fire is spread. The fire is beginning to spread across the rooftops. There are some other buildings that weren't initially in danger of being on fire that are beginning to catch a little bit.
Oh. So we don't have any responsible druid water spells prepared.
Good.
Can I look up something really, really fast?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to see what spells sees cast.
Oh, yeah.
It's 5th SRD. There it is. Sorry. Oh shoot, they're not. Can you look at a pixie
Yeah, I got
stat
it.
for
I'm
me?
pulling it up right now.
Thank you.
Druidcraft. Other than that, they don't really have anything that would help with this particular problem.
Okay. Oh. Jack, I made a really big fire.
That's okay. This place probably needed to be. You know, fire can be cleansing sometimes.
Honey, would Dispel Magic undo any of the fires or not really?
Not really at this point.
Okay. Does Persephone know of another type of Fey being that she called that rains things?
That rains things. Roll a. I mean, there should be something, right?
One of the
Can you
hags,
summon
maybe?
elementals or no?
Doesn't have that prepped right now.
Let me see what
Or more
unicorns can do.
Feyish and too high.
Oh no.
It's a celestial.
All kinds of problems with that plan.
Okay, so we will figure that out in a second. Oops. Sorry. So what's happening down the docks where the people were loading the boats?
Totally. As the fire and the smoke begins to kind of collect, you hear the like whistles of the fire brigade of the dock ward begin to respond to the conflagration that is beginning to spread. Roll a perception check with disadvantage as you're currently surrounded by choking black smoke.
Okay. It rolled so well. 22.
You see, interestingly, you make out a couple of boats making their way from where you were and heading up the coast a little bit.
Okay.
And but it doesn't seem that those boats could contain all of the like gang that you saw.
Okay, so I think some of them have stayed behind.
Or they're traveling away or just like getting away in another fashion.
Okay. We are going to hope that the fire brigade has really good luck. And we are going to Jack, we need to figure out what the House of Inspired Hands is.
Yes. Actually, Persephone, you've been in Waterdeep enough. I'm going to have you roll a history check.
16.
16. You actually have heard of the House of Inspired Hands. It is a temple to Gond, who's like the kind of like the Vulcan of this world. Is into
nice.
making stuff and creating things. The House of Inspired Hands is responsible for some. Everybody loves them in a way that they're kind of like the goofy, wacky. They invent things, and frequently they go wrong. But sometimes they go incredibly right. But most of the time they go wrong.
Okay.
And so you actually have a pretty good idea of where the House of Inspired Hands is.
Okay. Awesome. We're going to make our way there.
It's in the Sea Ward. On the corner of Sea-Watch Street and Shark Street. So you leave... Oh. Like you were having to
decide if I wanted to use my mind reading to see if I could read Pick's mind while we were running around, but I don't think it works that way because that would be cool.
If you
Now I hear the music.
It was playing for me throughout the fight. Eventually.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I'm so glad.
So you make your way through the city towards the Sea Ward. The fire brigade kind of rushing past you as you leave the dock ward into more civilized environs, and reach the.
We our amethyst crystal in our hand, and we say, "Sandra, I messed up a little bit, and if you can help, that would be awesome."
You feel a warm response kind of greeting you in return. You travel out to the Sea Ward, and you eventually arrive at the House of the House of Inspired Hands. And so you see before you a... I just had it a second ago. Here you go. The House of Inspired Hands looks like a cross between a temple and a workshop. The symbol of Gond, a toothed cog with 4 spokes, is displayed prominently. You see a familiar figure, a bronze dragonborn, at the entrance, kind of walking out, having a conversation with a bronze, faceless Nimblewright.
Okay.
What do you do?
You run up to her.
Oh. Goodness, what are you doing? You smell like smoke. Yes, I am Priestess Valletta.
Need to talk to you.
Okay, come inside. Nim, show our guest inside. And the Nimblewright kind of helps usher you all into the House of Gond, wherein you see halflings and gnomes and dragonborns and dwarves and humans and all manner of people engaged in various projects. I think it kind of looks like a medieval, steampunkish makerspace.
Cool.
Yeah.
And Valletta is still...
Yes. She kind of looks at you. My...
This is an emergency, Valletta. What color are Gond's eyes?
She looks at you like... Well, Gond is really more of an idea and inspiration that keeps us toiling away at our creation, and she offers you some kind of theologically sound answer.
Okay, that was close. I just wanted to check and make sure. So we have an emergency. You know how there have been weird things happening all over the city? Oh, also, has anyone here arrived in the last month or so? A new works person?
No.
Has anyone been kind of weird or maybe not quite as gifted as they used to be or much more gifted than they used to be?
Who are you?
Persephone?
Oh, you seem quite agitated.
I'm agitated. Can you answer my question first?
Um, there's always, like, you look around and people look a little bit, I mean, it's an interesting place that has a lot of very passionate um, creatives and, like, very focused engineer types as well. And so, like, there's plenty of odd in the space as a function of its normal being. But she says, there's always interesting things happening here.
Of course there are. Dear, it could be anywhere. There is. We like in a place where we can talk in private-ish.
If you would like, come to my office. And she guides you over. Nim, fetch us something to drink. Our new friends need help.
You are exceedingly trusting.
Yes.
Oh. Are we in her office?
Yeah, you're in her office.
Stephanie, thank goodness I've arrived when I did, unless it's too late and I don't know how to find out if it is.
What's the matter?
All right. So you know how there have been weird things happening all over the city?
Right.
So it is a group of doppelgangers who have named themselves the Hidden Hand.
That's a really good name.
They had planned. You work in a building also about hands. They had planned to kill you, and then they were going to impersonate you, and then they were going to go deeper into the temple, and they were going to take an item that seemed to be of some sort of great importance.
Oh goodness.
And they've been manipulating opponents. They stole. We pull out the book that we stole. They stole this from Lady Cedra, Eldura, and they were trying to figure out how to make transmutations permanent. So I don't know what kind of transmutation they were trying to permanent. If something just rang in your mind right now, that would be cool for you to tell me. I trust intuitions.
Well, I don't know much about transmutation. We take things and turn them into all kinds of wondrous things here, but not so much with arcane power. The vault contains a great number of inventions that it's determined would be better off not outside of the vault.
What would
I really don't like the idea that they were
vault?
going to try to kill me. That is not very nice.
No, it's not. We're here to help you, though.
Thank you.
It's important. You're welcome. Can you think of anything that... What could you walk out of the vault with that no one would question you having?
Oh, I'm kind of in charge here, so almost anything, I imagine.
What could you walk out with that nobody else could walk out with?
Almost anything in the vault. We have all kinds of interesting things there. We have a bird that is mechanical and flies and can carry things, or people, or drop things from a great height. We have like a, do you remember do you know what a gun is?
Maybe. I know Persephone's seen a gun. I don't know if she knows what they're called.
It's a tube that explodes a projectile out of the end of it, but we have one in there that can't be heard and can strike things from a great distance. That one is
Like
not
an arrow?
like an arrow, but far further and, dare I say, more lethal.
Oh, goodness.
Turbo arrow.
Mm. Turbo arrow.
And
That's pretty. Can't really like take over anything big with that.
we
I have
have
something more dastardly.
more what?
Dastardly.
Dastardly. Well, one of our people was tinkering with, instead of gears and cogs, he was tinkering with, um, little tiny animals that you can't see with your naked eye. But he created something that, well, could make a lot of people sick.
I don't know what they would stand to gain from getting lots of people sick. Jack, I'm glad we came here to help you. Jack, I don't know. I don't understand what it is that they've been doing. Why? No offense to you, Liletta, but why would they come here specifically?
I don't know. I mean, we have lots of cool things. But Jack says, Lady, I think that we're still not seeing the whole picture.
I think you're right. There has to be something bigger that they're trying to accomplish, but this doesn't take into account the transmutations or them working their way up. Or all the shipping. Do any of the things you have make lots of money?
Well, any one of them, any one of the items that I described would be priceless if put in the right hands. You said
It's like
shipping.
alchemy. Oh, yes, like shipping?
We have a prototype thing that allows. It's called a diving boat
Oh.
that allows the captain of the boat to travel underneath the water, and it's got like a drill function in the nose. You just said shipping, and that kind of struck a bell.
What would one do with such a device?
Well, you would be able to travel underneath the water, so you wouldn't be seen. And with the drill, you could drill a burrow from the water to wherever.
So someone could almost drill out of the vault towards somewhere sneaky that they want it to be?
Sure.
Where do you think they would go?
I'm sure I could just speculate all day. They might want to go to Neverwinter, or the Moonshay Isles, or the...
I can shake our head. I don't understand how they're getting away with these out of character and repenting things. Well, I guess it's the out of characterness. Has anyone here been really mean or has anyone had a recent falling out with a loved one? Stolen money?
I don't dabble too much with the personal lives of the people here. I'm more interested in creating things. She just goes on.
Have any gossipy friends?
Oh, Nim is a terrible gossip.
Can I talk to Nim?
Sure. You can do anything you like. She kind of smiles.
Stephanie's like, this lady, you can't help her.
Um, so I'm gonna take us to you're talking to Nim, and Nim is not able to speak, but is very excited to talk to you, and so they can write kind of like Lift does on a piece of chalkboard, or Nim's normal mode of conveyance is the people around him can understand him with like kind of sign language. And
Okay.
so you can get a translator where he can write on a chalkboard, but he just spills the tea on every single thing that's going on inside the House of Inspired Hands. These nerds have such scandalous lives and so many stories, but nothing really strikes you as like, oh, this seems like the work of the Hidden Hand.
Okay.
And you kind of like, after spending a few hours, it's getting late in the day at this point. You're kind of tired and a little bit annoyed. You had a good time with Nem, but ultimately you're no closer, you feel like, to uncovering what it is that the Hidden Hand is after.
Okay. Well, thank you both so much for your help. I really appreciate it.
Nim's kind of translator's like, oh yeah, anytime. It's nice to talk to a pretty lady.
Oh, thanks. Well, tell Valletta thank you for letting us see her, and Nim, keep a really close eye out for people approaching her. All right.
Nim's super on it. He's not gonna let anybody get close to Valletta.
It's because they'll look like someone familiar when they come.
Did you out them as like doppelgangers, and you're like the Hidden Hand doppelgangers? Okay, yeah. It's like you feel like you've equipped them as best as possible, and they'll be a much harder target than they would have been had you not come up here. So at least that feels good about having come out to the House of Inspired Hands.
I know something that we can do, but I don't know. I can only see half of it. I'm friends with some of the people who run the newspapers here, and so we could get a late, maybe like for the evening bulletin if we were really, really fast, or in the morning, we could. Okay, here's what we could do, Jack. We're going to lure them to a trap.
Okay.
And we'll put in the papers. Busted. Doppelgangers behind a hidden hand. Or hand revealed.
Wow.
Doppelgangers walk among us. Something really, they really like the dramatic headlines. And then we'll say that, Seart is being kept somewhere, and the only way to save him is for his siblings to come forward, something like that, and then catch them in our really obvious trap. That's
No, I think that we just need to work. We need to polish the edges a little bit.
I just don't think they care about each other enough for that to be a good a good motive. We kept talking about how busy Seart was, like that he's already doing something.
Right. What do you think he's
So
doing?
She was irritated. You don't think that Lady Cedra was fake, do you?
I don't. That struck me as very genuine.
I don't know then. Lady Cedra were fake and her mother were Barabbas, then they would have re-infiltrated that family, but they already got what they wanted from them.
I think so, and then you got
It
it
was
back.
pretty exciting. What did I do?
You have the spell book. I think we should take that and examine it to see what we can glean out of it.
Maybe they put some helpful notes in, like, we will meet here at this day at this time. Wear a red flower.
Let's head back to Queen Mabs and examine the book.
You don't think we're putting my mother in danger going back to Queen Mabs?
I hadn't thought so. Do you think we are?
I don't know. Usually. She has, what's his name with the eyebrows there right now, though, so maybe it'll be okay. Or something. Laniver. Sir Laniver is there. He'll help her as best he can. We go back to Queen Mabs.
As you start heading back to Queen Mabs, you see at a distance a familiar wagon outside of Queen Mabs. It's your Datha's.
That's exciting. You run up.
As you begin to approach, the whole bottom floor, it's like relatively late by the time that you get back to Queen Mabs. The whole bottom floor looks kind of closed up, but it's like early for it to be closed up for dinner. And you get this kind of like sinking feeling as you approach Queen Mabs.
Okay. We hurry up to our Datha's wagon.
It's empty.
Okay. Queen Mabs looks closed up. Are there lights on above?
There's like a light on in your room.
This is not good. We're gonna try to go on the bottom floor.
Okay. As you reach your hand up to open the door, you swing it open. Inside, it's completely pitch black for just a moment before there's an explosion of purple sparkles and there's a big cry of, "Surprise, happy birthday!" And Esmeralda and Cassian and Liff's girlfriend and Bertolt and all the Shard Shunners and just everybody's here ready to throw down for Persephone's birthday. And Jack looks like so relieved, like he's been carrying around a terrible burden for the last 24 hours. But he picks you up and spins you around and kisses you and says, "Happy birthday." Esmeralda comes by.
We go.
Yeah.
Mama, you tricked me.
I did. You thought that your surprise party was going to be tomorrow, but instead it is today's surprise. You cannot out-surprise the surprise master.
You can't. I don't know why anyone would even try.
Well, they shouldn't. Your actual birthday is a few days away, and so this is a genius surprise.
I was not expecting it until next week, until you told me, until you told me this morning to expect it tomorrow.
Welcome to the web of birthday surprise lies.
There are more?
Well, I mean, I brought your Datha down here.
We go give him a hug.
Yeah.
But did you have a nice trip?
I did, but we had to make like polar bears chasing walruses to get down here on time.
I'm really glad you made it.
Your mother's not one to be kept waiting, no? He kind of gives her a kiss on the cheek.
Oh. No, she does not wait very well. You were planning this for me.
There's great music and great drink. You see your dear friends from across Waterdeep, celebrating Persephone's birthday surprise. Jack says, I'm sorry I kept that from you. She made me, he says, looking at Esmeralda.
I'm delighted you kept it from me.
Ooh. It was hard.
Is that what you've been thinking about all day?
When I wasn't thinking about not getting crushed by whatever that thing was, then yes.
Right, and on their way north, she would have done a cure wounds for Jack. Where he got hit by the shield thing or the stone thing. Gives him a big hug around the waist. Thank you for helping with my surprise party.
I have a small gift for you.
You do?
I do. He kisses you, and he, as he kind of pulls back from kissing you, he's kind of simultaneously fastening around your neck. Really, it's a beautiful amulet that depicts a silver tree, and it's some of the amethyst stone. And the silver tree, and kind of fashioned into a locket style thing.
Wait, so it's like an amethyst locket with the silver tree on the front of it?
That's it. Yeah.
Okay. This is beautiful. Where did this come from?
Oh, I've been carrying it around for a little while. I had it crafted in Neverwinter, and I was waiting for the right moment.
I think it's perfect. And she opened the locket?
Yes, and inside the locket, there's it's actually, like, when you open it, you're kind of struck because it's empty. He says, for you to fill with whatever you want to put in it.
Right. I'll come up with something really cool. Love it. Thank you.
He gives you a kiss, and he says, Persephone, I love you.
I love you too.
Kind of butting into the middle of that, throwing his arms around both of you, Marcus comes careening in. Hey! You two, stop smooching.
Marcus, what were you and Romina doing 5 minutes ago?
We're smooching, but we're married. It's different.
You got married?
We're basically married.
You're engaged.
It's the same thing. Right, Romina? Romina just scowls at him.
If you keep saying that, you're going to have bigger problems.
No doubt. Come, dance with your brother.
All right.
So he takes you around, dances you up and down real good. Big party ensues. Super fun. Rah, rah, rah. It goes late into the night. And if we need to come back, if we need to go back in time and talk about any party things that happen, I gotta hit a story beat, and then we gotta close because it's 11.
Your bedtime.
Way past my bedtime.
Sorry.
And Carolina woke me up at 3. So, late at night, starting to die down a little bit. You see and hear a curious stomping outside, and you see a large contingency of City Watch coming down the street. And at their head, you see Captain, whatever his face was that you interacted with before, and Waterdeep. I can't remember his name right now. You see Barnabas Blastwind and Saith Crowley. Cromley. The two that investigated the explosion, the fireball.
Okay.
And with them, Okoria.
Okay.
Of the Order of Protectors and Magists. And the guards kind of position themselves near Queen Mabs as the three of them kind of come up and kind of call from...
meet them.
And Saith Cromley looks a little... Everybody looks like nervous and distressed. And Cromley says, Persephone Arel and companion.
His name is Jack.
They look a little uncomfortable, and Cromley says, we're here with a warrant for your arrest.
On what charge?
Assaulting the open lord of Waterdeep, Lariel Silverhand. You will be remanded into custody, effective immediately, to stand trial on the morrow.
Is L'Oreal Silverhand all right?
Yes, thank the gods. Come with us, please don't make a fuss. And Okoria and Barnabas. Okoria is looking at you like Barnabas looks at you like he thinks you did something bad, but Okoria is like, this is something shenanigans is going on, like, but we gotta follow what's supposed to happen.
Persephone says, I demand the right of the Fifth Amendment to the agreement between the Magus and Protectors to speak with Okoria in private for a moment.
Barnabas Blastwind, who's also in the Order of Mages and Protectors, like, there's no such right.
Prove it.
He apparates a codex. Like,
Are you sure it's not there?
yes, I hope write the damn thing.
Just double check. It might have appeared while you weren't paying attention. If I'm powerful enough to have assaulted L'Oreal Silverhand, I could certainly have added the Fifth Amendment when there are none.
This is preposterous. Roll a persuasion check.
16.
As he's fussing, and like he kind of turns to, he yells at Cromley to tell the guards, like, you know, the guards are under Cromley, right? He starts yelling at Cromley to tell the guards to, like, you know, take her in, and like, you know, all this stuff. And Okoria approaches and says, I know you didn't do this.
Didn't, but I think I know why it looked like Jack and I did.
Tell me while we go.
I'm having a birthday party with my family. Can you guys come back in like 2 hours?
I'm afraid not.
Right, well, I can't just leave, or you will have a whole bunch of Zaldad at the prison. So, the Hidden Hands, they are Doppelgangers. There are 5 of them. I confronted them this afternoon, but it did not go so well. They were trying to break into the House of Inspired Hands. They were going to kill one of the priestesses, Valetta, and steal something from inside of... We were with Valetta all afternoon. I don't know when we're supposed to have made this attack, but we've been around other people almost all day. We warned Valetta. I hope that she is all right, but It makes sense that they attacked Lariel Silverhand, I suppose, but to take us in and let us keep searching.
It was a pretty convincing attack in front of a lot of people, and we have to take you in. I'm sure that we can clear this up tomorrow.
Where are you taking us?
To the courthouse.
Are we to be tried before the Open Lords tomorrow? Or by the Masked Lords tomorrow?
The Masked Lords won't be there, but L'Oreal Silverhand has the right to appear.
Hmm. We want to do something crazy.
Baby, you do whatever Persephone wants to do.
Okay. I need you to trust me.
Oh no. What you got, honey?
When we say that, what is Okoria's reaction?
I mean, Okoria trusts you for the most part. Zeke says, "Fireball!"
Persephone, Persephone tells her, in the moment, I need you to stagger back like I struck you in the chest with magic.
She looks...
And I need you to collapse on the towards Barnabas.
Okay, roll a persuasion check.
10.
She looks a little confused. What do you do?
We glance at Jack, and we cast Polymorph on Jack.
Okay.
And we turn him into...
T-Rex. Yeah. Do you really?
Something fast but big. I was gonna just turn Jack into a direwolf, and we were gonna turn into one too, and we were gonna sprint away.
Direwolf would have a better chance of evading detection. And Allosaurus has a speed of 60 feet.
Yeah, but it's still a dinosaur running around a city.
Yeah.
As opposed to a 6-foot-tall wolf running around a city. That's super normal.
Yeah, totally. It's Waterdeep.
We use Polymorph to turn Jack into a warhorse, identical to ones relatively nearby. If the soldiers have any horses, whatever they look like.
Zeke
so Jack looks like.
Said giant eagle.
I thought about a giant eagle. Okay, yeah, what Zeke said. We polymorph Jack into a giant eagle.
Okay. So, Jack turns into a giant eagle before everybody's eyes. Barnabas kind of whips his eyes around and staggers back, pulling his wand. What do you do?
Is it my turn again?
I'm letting you have a surprise round.
I use my action to also turn into a giant eagle, and Jack and I fly away.
All right. So both of you turn into giant eagles and spring into the air. Okoria kind of like staggers back with the gust of wind, pushing her a little bit. And she kind of like crosses her arms and like looks up like, oh my gosh. Barnabas is going to make an attack and do an airburst fireball, trying to catch both of you.
Oh, okay. Let me
Flack.
pull up my eagle stats. Sorry. I'm just gonna look it up. I thought I had them.
I got it now. So dexterity saving throw +3.
Wait, I need to know how far away we are.
So you guys got like 160 feet up, but fireball has crazy range.
Wait, but do we have to have gone straight up into the air?
No. You trying to take evasive actions?
Mm-hmm. Sorry, so we have 80-foot fly speed. Like if we could have put a building between us, we would have. If not, whatever seems most dramatic and exciting for you is fine with me.
Let's do this. Roll a stealth check, add 3.
Okay.
Using your giant eagle stats.
Sorry, it keeps getting stuck. At 20.
Nat 20? Okay. So you and Jack disappear into the night sky, even as Barnabas yells for Ocoria to try harder to throw magic at you both. She says, "Oh yes, I'm totally trying." But there are some airburst fireball explosions, some fairy fire, and some magic missiles that come streaking out in Barnabas's fury at the escapees. But you all take off into the night sky of Waterdeep, away from the immediate control and in the immediate range of old Barnabas Blastwind. Now enemies of the state. And that's where we'll close.
Oh no!
Goodness gracious, honey. I just wanted to use the courthouse map, but no.
Oh, sorry. We didn't want to go to the courthouse.
Baby, it's okay. It's fun. I love
Thank you for doing it.
the intense idea. You're so welcome, honey. I hope it was fun.
You want to know where we're going?
Where are you going?
Ariel Silverhand's house.
Wow. Well, I'm excited to see what happens this weekend.
Hey, thank you.
You're
That was
welcome.
so much fun.
I'm so glad.
Sorry it's late.
It's okay. Our puppies need to go outside.
Okay.
We're crying.
I hear that. Well, we do want to extend a special thank you to our patrons for sponsoring our stream. And we want to extend a special thank you to our friends in chat and Zeke especially. I think the Giant Eagle was absolutely the right call. I was thinking Giant Eagle, but I was like, is that too expected? That was totally the right
Too
call.
on the nose. Yeah, I think it would have been a lot harder to escape as a warhorse.
Just so we could blend in with the other horses.
The other horses are like, who's the new guy?
It's a secret.
Don't talk to us. I love it. Yeah, thanks everybody in the chat. Please, if you want to be notified of when there's more sweet one-on-one D&D stuff happening on our stream, then make sure to follow us on Twitch. And we have recordings of all of our games and all that good stuff coming out every week on YouTube. So like and subscribe and notify and all the good stuff over there too. But thank you so much, especially to our patrons who make all of our video content possible. If you'd like to check out the kinds of cool one-on-one D&D adventures and resources that our patrons enjoy, you can join them over at patreon.com/GroveGuardianPress. Happy birthday, honey!
Thank you.
We're going to call it a night. You all have a beautiful rest of the day.